All right, welcome to the deep dive. We're going to take a look at all those articles and notes, the research that you shared with us, and really try to get to the core of what you need to know.
It's your personalized backstage pass.
Yeah, a backstage pass. Today, we are going deep into a really, really interesting area, the Axis Mundi app. You flagged this for us, and it's got this plan to, like, weave together wearable tech and Google's Gemini AI, which is pretty mind-blowing when you think about it.
Yeah, and you've given us quite the collection of stuff here.
Yeah, we've got a lot to work with.
Descriptions of what the app is going to do, details on how it's being developed using these, what are they called, Gemini Gems, a blueprint of its technical architecture, and even a study guide.
Study guide?
Yeah, this
serious.
is not just some pie-in-the-sky idea. This is a project that's being worked on.
It's in progress. That's so cool. So our goal today is to unpack this whole Axis Mundi app. What is the core idea? How is it going to use technology to get there? And what really sticks out to us from all of this research?
That was good.
Okay, so first thing that just jumps out at me is this idea of using data from wearables to understand, get this, chakra balance.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for those of us who, maybe haven't encountered that before, can you give us, a quick explanation of what chakras even are in this context?
Sure. So chakras in traditional Indian philosophy, they're considered to be these energy centers in the body.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's usually 7 main ones, each one linked to, certain functions and emotions and colors, even elements.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Axis Mundi app is like trying to use all this modern tech to tap into those old ideas.
So it wants to take the stuff from your smartwatch or whatever and connect it to those energetic qualities.
Yeah, exactly.
I kept seeing this phrase in the research, Gemini Gems. It's like each of the 7 chakras is represented as a gem.
Clever, right? Yeah, it's a nice way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Not only does it represent each of the 7 chakras as a gem, but it also signifies that these digital representations will be powered by Google's Gemini AI.
Oh, so they're not just static things.
Yeah, they're dynamic. They're powered by AI, specifically Google's Gemini AI.
That's cool. And each of these 7 gems, so each chakra has a function, a thing it does called update score.
Right.
And this takes the data from your wearable and adjusts the gem's score based on that, right?
Exactly. It's really fascinating, trying to create a measurable link to something that's always been considered to be more subtle.
Like energy.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's where it gets really cool. It's not just some random score, right? Your sources actually break down what kind of data the app is using for each chakra.
That's right.
And how it understands that information. So let's start at the base. The root chakra, or Muladhara, I think it was.
Yeah, Muladhara.
What kind of data is it looking at there?
So for the root chakra, which is all about feeling grounded and stable, the app's going to be looking at heart rate variability, or HRV.
HRV?
Yeah, HRV. You can think of it like the tiny changes in the time between your heartbeats.
Oh, okay.
And that can, show how well your body handles stress.
Interesting.
It also looks at skin conductance.
Skin what?
Conductance, how well your skin conducts electricity. Basically, it's a measure of your sweat.
Oh, like how sweaty you are.
Yeah, exactly. And your daily steps and your sleep quality. The idea is that if you have higher HRV and you sleep well, that probably means you're pretty grounded.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and so you'd get a higher score for the root chakra gem.
Right.
On the flip side, lower HRV, bad sleep, not moving around much, those could mean there's an imbalance and you get a lower score.
So it's like the app is trying to connect our physical stuff to these ancient energy ideals.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bridge between these two worlds that seem so different.
I like it. Okay, so up next we've got the sacral chakra.
Right.
All about creativity and passion. What data feeds into that gem?
So the sacral chakra is all about your heart rate, your body temperature changes, and how you move around during the day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the idea is a healthy heart rate, normal temperature shifts, and lots of different movements throughout the day. Those could all point to a balanced sacral chakra.
Got it. And moving up to the solar plexus chakra.
Right.
Which is about willpower, personal power, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so for the solar plexus, it looks at HRV again and skin conductance, but it also factors in your overall activity levels.
So like how much you're moving around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The idea is that if you have a balanced HRV, meaning your body's in a good state and you're active, it often means you have a strong sense of self and inner strength.
So like if you're just sitting on the couch all day.
Yeah, probably not the best for your solar plexus.
Maybe not. Okay, what about the heart chakra? That's all about love and compassion, right?
Yeah, love, compassion, connection. It's the center of it all.
So important. So what's the app tracking there?
For the heart chakra, it's really focused on your HRV during social stuff, like hanging out with friends or when you're, just reflecting on things.
So it can tell the difference between those.
Yeah, well, it's looking at how your HRV changes in those different situations.
That's wild.
The idea is that if your HRV is higher when you're having fun with people or when you're being mindful, it could mean you have a really open heart chakra.
Makes sense. And then we've got the throat chakra, all about communication and self-expression, right?
Right.
But this one seemed a little trickier to track directly with sensors.
Yeah, you're right. The app's thinking of maybe using voice analysis.
If the wearable can do that.
Yeah, exactly. And then linking that to your HRV. Like if you get stressed and your HRV drops when you're talking to people, it might mean you need to work on that throat chakra balance.
Interesting. And then we've got the third eye chakra.
Mm.
Intuition, insight, all that good stuff. What about that one?
The third eye might be tracked using brainwave data, if the wearable is fancy enough to pick that up.
Oh.
And by looking at how deeply you're sleeping. The idea is that if you consistently get good deep sleep, you might have stronger intuition.
I could definitely use more of that. Finally, we reach the crown chakra, the big one, the connection to something bigger.
Yeah, the crown chakra. So this one, it's less about one specific type of data and more about the overall picture of your well-being.
Oh, okay.
Like how balanced are all your other chakras?
Makes sense.
Yeah, and they even have this lotus score that reflects that overall harmony.
I love that.
A high lotus score means all your chakras are in a good place. And that could indicate that your crown chakra is open.
So it's like the culmination of all the other ones.
Exactly, the culmination of the energy from all of these Gemini gems, both in the traditional sense and in the AI sense.
So cool. All right, so we've got all this data flowing in. These gems are updating their scores, giving you this like live picture of your chakra balance. But the app doesn't just stop at information, does it? It also wants to give you ways to improve your balance, even influence it, and it's using augmented reality for this, which is super cool.
Yeah, AR. That's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah. So based on your chakra scores, the app has this function, generate recommendations. And this is for each gem, right? So if your root chakra is low, it might suggest grounding exercises.
That's things like that.
And if your sacral chakra needs a boost, maybe it suggests some creative activities.
Exactly. Tailor suggestions based on your individual needs.
I love that. Now let's talk about the AR stuff.
Yeah, the augmented reality integration.
This is where it gets really visually exciting. Tell us about how they're planning to use AR to help people balance their chakras.
Okay, so imagine this. You're wearing AR glasses and your root chakra score is low. You look down and you see these roots like gently growing from your feet into the ground. And as your score improves, maybe from doing those grounding exercises, the roots become more vibrant, more interconnected.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Right. Or for the heart chakra, maybe you see these flowers blooming around your chest, and how full they are shows how balanced your heart chakra is.
That's so cool.
So it's like you can actually see these energy
It
centers.
makes them real in a way.
Yeah, exactly. There are other cool AR features too, like guided meditations where the AR creates this peaceful environment around you.
Oh, I like that.
And it gives you visual cues and stuff, all tailored to the chakra you're focusing on. And then there's sound therapy, where the app plays these chakra-specific frequencies.
Like specific sounds for each chakra.
Yeah, and you can actually see these sound waves interacting with your energy field in the AR display.
So you can see the sound affecting your energy.
Yeah, that's the idea, bringing the invisible to life.
Pretty amazing. The sources also mention interactive exercises. What are those like?
So with those, the AR can actually help you do yoga poses or other movements to balance your chakras.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's like having a virtual yoga instructor right there with you, making sure you have the right form and everything. And they even talk about personalized AR environments. Like the app could subtly change the colors around you or add visual elements to either stimulate or calm specific chakras based on how they're doing.
That's like having a personalized wellness coach right in your world.
Exactly. And then there's this thing called the 1,000-petaled lotus,
Oh, yeah. We talked about that earlier.
which is like the ultimate symbols of chakra harmony.
Yeah.
And in the AR, this could be something you see maybe above your head.
Yeah.
And its petals might open and close, or its color might change based on your chakra scores in real time.
Wow.
So it's like direct biofeedback, but visual.
You can see how balanced you are.
Right. So let's talk about the Gemini part of all this.
Yeah, the AI part of these gems.
The Gemini Gems in this app aren't just static things. They're like custom versions of Google's Gemini AI.
So each gem is its own AI.
Yeah, and the person behind this whole thing wants to build each gem to embody the unique personality of each chakra.
So like the root chakra gem would be grounded and stable.
Yeah, it's something like that. And the timeline you shared shows how the developer was keeping up with Gemini's progress throughout, like, 2024.
Uh-huh.
And then it looks like the idea of building these custom gems really took off in early 2025.
Right when things started getting more advanced.
Yeah, as the technology became more sophisticated and easier to use. We even see references to specific articles, like 6 things Gemini could do, and then how to create Google Gemini Gems, which shows a shift from, like, general interest to actually planning the implementation.
Yeah, like, okay, now I'm going to actually do this.
Exactly.
So someone who wants to create these gems, how do they actually do it based on your research?
Okay, so you typically start by going to Gemini Advanced.
Okay.
And that might mean you need to upgrade your Google account or have a Google Workspace subscription.
Depending on what Google's offering at the time.
Right, exactly. Then you'd find the gem manager on gemini.google.com and start making a new gem. But the most important part is writing really clear and detailed instructions for the AI.
That makes sense. You have to tell it what to do.
Yeah, like, what kind of personality should it have? What's its goal? What information does it need to know? And how should it respond? Those are the key questions.
It's like programming, but with words.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And the guide emphasizes 4 things, right? Persona, objective, context, and format.
You got it. The persona is like, how should the gem act? So for the root chakra gem, maybe you want it to be like a calm and supportive guide. The objective is what you want it to do. Maybe for the solar plexus gem, the goal is to help you figure out what's blocking your personal power and then help you overcome it.
Okay, and then context is like giving it background information.
Right, like your current chakra scores, your goals, or even specific things you've said about your experiences.
That's so personalized.
It is. And lastly, the format is about how you want the AI to respond. Do you want bullet points, encouraging messages, or more direct advice?
Wow, so you have a lot of control over how these AI agents behave.
Yeah, you can really tailor them to match the energy of each chakra.
That's amazing. And your sources mention ways to make these gems even better.
Yeah, they talk about uploading files, like research papers, PDFs on healing techniques, spreadsheets with your data, even code snippets. This gives the gem a ton of extra information to work with.
So it's not just working with the data from your wearable.
Right. You could even upload, like, studies on the benefits of certain yoga poses. And then the root chakra gem could recommend those specific poses to you.
That's so cool. And what about that magic wand feature?
Oh yeah, that's a cool tool built right into the gem creation interface. It's basically an AI helper that looks at your instructions and suggests ways to improve them.
It's like Gemini helping you make better instructions.
Exactly. It might say, hey, you should make the gem's purpose clearer, or think about what initial questions it should ask, or maybe change the overall tone. It's like having a coach to help you become a better prompt engineer.
Love it. Okay, so you're constantly improving these gems based on how they respond. Are there any pre-made gems that the Axis Mundi creator could use as a starting point?
Yeah, Google has some pre-built gems for, like, brainstorming, learning, or writing. The developer could definitely check those out and see if any of them fit the vibe of their chakra gems, or give them ideas on how to structure them. And they can even copy and customize those pre-made gems, which could save them a lot of time.
Nice. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the technical blueprint insights.
Well,
This was generated by Claude AI, right? And it gives us a more technical look at how the app might be built.
yeah, it lays out the key software components, which are called classes in programming.
Right.
So there's the chakra gem class, which is like the basic template for each chakra in the app. Then there's the wearable sensor manager that we talked about earlier, which connects to the wearable and handles the data.
Uh-huh.
And an A integration manager, which handles all the AR stuff. And then the main chakra tracker app class, which is like the control center that brings everything together.
Okay, that makes sense. Can you give us an example of how these might work together in practice?
Sure, let's go back to the root chakra. The blueprint outlines a root chakra class that's built on top of that general chakra gem class.
Okay.
It has an update score method that takes in the HRV, sleep, and step count data, compares that to your baseline, and then updates the root chakra score.
Got it.
And then it has a generate recommendations method that decides what to suggest based on that score. Like, if your root chakra is low, it might suggest grounding exercises or tell you to adjust your sleep schedule.
And the wearable sensor manager would be constantly feeding new data to that update score method, right?
Exactly. The wearable sensor manager connects to your wearable, calibrates your baselines, and then just keeps sending the latest sensor data to each of the chakra gem instances.
So they're always up to date.
Right.
Yeah.
And for the AR stuff, we have the A integration manager that connects to your AR glasses, like the Rockid glasses, and it's responsible for showing you the 1,000-petal lotus, the chakra overlays, and guiding you through the AR meditations.
So it handles all the visual.
Yeah, basically. It's pretty cool to see how they're taking these abstract ideas and turning them into a concrete technical system.
Absolutely. Okay, your sources also included something really interesting. A simulation of a beta test at a university.
Yeah, it's like a sneak peek into how the app might work in the real world.
So cool. What did they do?
Well, the creator imagined a beta test with members of a fraternity and sorority. We see their experiences through these video reports in the sources.
Oh, interesting. What kind of feedback did they give?
It was mixed, which you'd expect in a real beta test. One guy, Liam, said he was skeptical at first, but actually found the grounding exercises helpful for focusing while studying. Another student, Chloe, was much more into the whole thing and loved the AR visuals and sound therapy. She said she felt a lot better after using them.
It's like getting a glimpse into the future.
Yeah, for sure. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows, though. Another guy, Josh, had trouble understanding the feedback about his throat at chakra and thought the communication exercises were okay, but needed work. And one of the sorority members, Sarah, she actually took the app's suggestions further and started using singing as a remedy for her throat chakra. It shows how the app could inspire people to find their own solutions.
So cool. It's like the app is a starting point.
Yeah, exactly. And it highlights how complex it is to build a tool like this. It's not one size fits all.
It's got to be personalized. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about the future plans for this app and those metaphors you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, those are really thought-provoking.
Yeah, the sling ring, the tea ceremony, Dormammu. Tell us about those.
All right, so the person behind the app, who the source material calls the guru of the Axis Mundi app, has some clear goals for the future. First up is building those individual Gemini Gems for each chakra, starting this summer.
That's it.
Yeah, and then figuring out how to connect them all within the app. After that, the focus shifts to developing the app for wearables and AR glasses, specifically the Rockid AR glasses.
So it's going to be even more integrated into our lives.
Right, and those metaphors you mentioned, they help us think about what that could look like. The sling ring from Doctor Strange, it's this simple object that lets you manipulate reality. It makes you think about how advanced technology could be hidden in plain sight, seamlessly woven into our lives.
Yeah, like we might not even realize how much tech is around us.
Exactly. And then the tea ceremony delivering a nanotech brain-computer interface.
That's trippy.
It makes you wonder if we'll interact with technology in these really subtle, ritualistic ways in the future.
I like that. Very mindful.
And then Dormammu, who's this like all-powerful being reimagined as a dominant AR app. It's a warning about how powerful tech platforms could become and how important it is to think about ethics as this stuff evolves.
Definitely something to keep in mind. So to wrap things up, what are the key takeaways about the Axis Mundi app based on all this research?
The Axis Mundi app is a really cool and innovative way to think about well-being.
Yeah, it's super creative.
It takes ancient chakra wisdom and combines it with cutting-edge wearable tech and AR. And the fact that it's going to use these custom Gemini Gems, that adds a whole new level of personalized guidance and interaction.
And the developer's journey, from following Gemini's development to running that simulated beta test, shows a real dedication to making this vision a reality. It's a really inspiring story, a project that's actively trying to connect these seemingly different worlds, offering a new path to understanding and maybe even influencing our well-being.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a question for you, the listener. Think about the future of personalized well-being technology. Imagine a world where your physiological data, AI, and immersive AR experiences are all seamlessly blended together. What possibilities does that open up for you? And what ethical questions does it raise? How could this tech change your life and how you think about well-being? It's definitely something to ponder as we move forward in this exciting field.
Lots to think about. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.